Hello, this is Zach Cook. This is my project phase 3 for the stealth level in game scripting. I'm just going to go ahead and give a playthrough real quick. So I have the player controller and I have the AI controller. The first thing I'll go ahead and say is I could not get the hearing to work. If I made any noise, even if I didn't move, he would hear the pawn and look right at him and then go and, hit him. So I don't have sound, but to compensate, I have made his sight radius a little better. And so it's a basic corridor that you have to get certain paths. You gotta go hide in the corners because he'll see you and he'll run up to you and you have the kill volume, and that works. So on top of that, I have the press Q to place spikes working. So I'll go ahead and let him get forward and place them down right here. And so I've set it up to where the player can poke their camera around. And so he'll walk over those spikes. He was supposed to have died. Maybe he just didn't do enough damage. I'll let him run through one more time. But as you can see, I've put the camera off to the side over the shoulder so that the player does have the ability to look around. And so, yep, it took a extra run through on the spikes to get him to kill. But I have set it up to where the player can only put down 3 spikes before he runs out. And yeah, so the objective is to get from the room you start in down to the end of the corridor. And you can either kill the dude with traps or you can stealth through it. Alright, I'll go ahead and go over the blueprint of it all. I'll start with the guard, which I have named AI Guard Complex. So start off with set waypoint, first destination, event begin play, set destination, point project to navigation is the waypoint, current waypoint, and the location of actor current waypoint, project to navigation, set destination. And so that sets the very first destination to be the current waypoint, which is 0. And then it also sets the AI controller as necessary. Every tick head to destination. If there, head to next waypoint. Event tick, move to location. The target is the guard AI controller. The point to navigate to is destination projected onto the nav. So that it's moving to destination, which is projected onto the navigation, and then depending on if it failed or is at the goal, it is going to move to the next waypoint. The waypoint is going to increase by 1, and so long as the current waypoint is still, if current waypoint is greater than or equal to, it is going to reset the current waypoint, and then at that point it's going to set the destination to the current waypoint. And if it's false, it's just going to set it to the waypoint. And it sets the patrol speed, sets the max walk speed to the patrol speed, which is 250. If it sees the player on C-Pawn from pawn sensing, it's going to set the destination to get actor location of the pawn it sees and project that point to navigation, and then it's going to set the C speed. It's going to start running. Here I have the blueprint set up as we had it from the lecture, but when I set it up, he immediately hears the player no matter what sound he makes. So I actually have it set to where the threshold is before the player is there. But if I set his pawn sensing hearing threshold to what it normally is, he's already in range of the player. He just hears it at any given point. And I've tried to set the volume of the walking down, but he still hears it from way too far away. So I just decided to break the link in that and have him work directly from sight. And so then we have the kill volume of the box mesh, the box collision in front of him. So it's going to look at, is the actor equal to the pawn, and if it is, go ahead and destroy it. And then the pawn has its respawning set up. And so here I have the event take damage that it's going to need from the spike. So the health is going to subtract from however much damage it's taking, which is controlled by the spikes. It's going to see the health. If the health is greater than 0 or less than 0, it's going to destroy the actor. Alright, and that is the guard. So for the third person character, I have jump set to pawn make noise, and the jump volume visible so that I can change it. And then I have walk make noise, and once again set to visible so I can change it from default. We still have die on P that I disconnected. For setup respawn, it's event begin play, set spawn vector, and I do have the checkpoints as I showed in my phase 2. I just have not put them in this level because it's just a short 1 and 2. But so bind event to undestroyed. When that happens, it's going to spawn another one and repossess it. And yeah, it works just fine. Go ahead and demonstrate. So it sets it back to the original spawn point. I'll even go ahead and throw the checkpoint in here just to show that I have it and I have it working. So he's going to come into the checkpoint, he's going to die, and then we spawn in the checkpoint. And just take a quick look at the blueprint. So cast a third person character, set the spawn vector variable. Easy peasy. Let's see. And then the last thing is BP spike zone. So we have the apply damage on event tick for each in the array. It's going to apply damage, and it's going to apply the DPS number times the delta seconds onto the base damage, so to account for, frame rate, and to make it actually apply the damage per second and not per tick. And so on begin overlap and on end overlap, it's going to take the object and cast it into the characters in spikes array, and then it's going to cast it out of it when it ends overlap. And that's about everything. So I know the level isn't super duper complex, but it does show that I've got the damage and the kills and the respawn and basically the stealth portion of it all. And so I'll be trying to work that into my final.